On this video, we're going to talk about the power of turmeric, especially as a sleep aid. And it's more than just a sleep aid, it's really a massive anti-inflammatory aid, and I want to explain why. And turmeric is such a really cool vegetable because it looks so ugly, but then it's so beautiful on the inside, and it really gives you an incredible healing punch, and I want to make sure you understand everything about it. So let's dive in and let's talk about turmeric. Okay, so first, I want to read you some of the reasons why you want to use turmeric and add turmeric into your diet. Then we're going to talk about why before you go to bed. And then we'll talk about how do you get it into you? Because I know the first time I learned about turmeric and went to the grocery store, I looked at this and I was like, that looks like a worm. Oh, you want me to put the worm? I'm not going to eat that. But then when I cut it open, I was like, that looks so beautiful. And remember, when we're looking at food, the brighter the color, the more antioxidants in it. So the color can actually give you an indication as to how many nutrients are inside of there, and that is a pretty brilliant color. So I started to really fall in love with turmeric and use it in a lot of different ways, despite the fact that it looks like a worm on the outside. So here's something to take note on. So turmeric, the main part of turmeric is called curcumin. So a lot of people know about curcumin. Curcumin is one of the most potent anti-inflammatory antioxidants out there. It's literally in the world. So if you want something that is going to protect your cells from the modern world damage, that's really what an antioxidant is that when we ingest antioxidants, it creates this protective mechanism around our cells that doesn't allow the physical, emotional, chemical stressors that are in this modern world right now to destroy us on a cellular level. This is an important concept I want to make sure I don't lose sight of with you all, which is when a cell gets a constant barrage of physical, emotional, and chemical stressors, it actually can start to turn into a cancer cell. It can start to turn into a zombie cell. Most people know what a cancer cell is. A zombie cell is a cell that ages very quickly. So one of the things that protects these cells from the stressors of our life is a diet rich in antioxidants. And here we have one of the most powerful antioxidants on the planet is turmeric because of curcumin in it. So, and many of you know, I do want to point this out, that when you put black pepper and combine it with curcumin, I want to make sure I get the percentage right, its bioavailability increases by 2,000%. So again, my brain goes to this place of how cool is the earth? That the earth was like, if you eat this, it will protect you from the damage of the modern world. Maybe when the earth was created, there was some acknowledgement or some understanding of how complicated and toxic filled our planet would get. But earth provided us, here's a powerful antioxidant to protect a human cell. And if you combine it with another powerful antioxidant like black pepper and you put them together, you increase the magic of these two antioxidants. I think that's pretty cool that the earth provided that for us in a time when we really need it because we're living in such a toxic environment. Now, the other part of turmeric that's really interesting is that it's high in polyphenols. So remember, if you read Fast Like a Girl, I talk about the 3 Ps, the polyphenol, probiotic, prebiotic foods. And I talk about how important they are for your microbiome. And your microbiome is doing more than just digesting food. It makes you serotonin to keep you happy, and it also makes you melatonin, which is why we're going to talk about this in conjunction with drinking turmeric before you go to bed. But melatonin is stimulated in your body from light, but melatonin also is made in the gut. So when we have poor gut health, we oftentimes have poor melatonin production, causing us to not sleep that well or even fall asleep. It's usually in the falling asleep is the melatonin issue. So when we bring in a high polyphenol food like turmeric, it can assist in helping the melatonin production, which can help with sleep. Now, interesting study that I found was this 2018 study found that curcumin prevents gastrointestinal barrier damage and promotes gut healing. So what does that mean? On the inner lining of your gut is like this thin saran wrap mucosal membrane. And one thing that happens when we're stressed or we're eating the wrong foods is that membrane starts to get broken apart. And as it gets broken apart, it no longer has intestinal barrier integrity. What that means is undigested food can get into your system, toxins can get into your system, and then all of a sudden you have a massive inflammatory response. So a really intense high polyphenol food like this starts to repair that inner lining of that gut. Those of you that know what leaky gut syndrome is, that's one of the reasons this can be an incredible food. So, and then when we repair that inner lining of the gut, we don't have all those toxins coming into our system. We're helping to promote melatonin for sleep, making it a marvelous tool to bring into our diet probably on a daily basis. Now, I'll share with you a couple of the ways that I like to drink this. This is my favorite. So I used to, by the way, I was a big juicer for many years, and I used to do turmeric all the time in juice. And it tastes kind of woody. I know that sounds bad. It's not bad. It just has sort of a wood, like a wood smell to it. So it kind of has this taste of wood, but otherwise it's pretty benign. There's not a strong, it doesn't have a strong flavor. So I would put it in with ginger a lot for gut health, into like a green juice. But my favorite is Golden Milk. And this is done by Raw Farms, and Golden Milk, this one has cinnamon, a little bit of black pepper, turmeric, and it's kefir, raw kefir. So it has all these good probiotics. This is probably one of my favorite ways to break my fast because it really gets all this incredible combination of polyphenols and probiotics into my gut. After I've been fasting for however long, I just choose that day. It goes in there and helps to heal the gut so that I can keep a good ecosystem down there. So Golden Milk, definitely my favorite. So much so I need to take a sip right now. Okay, second favorite is tea. So now remember, it depends on how much you put in there. This is gonna be in varying amounts. But it's something as simple as a turmeric ginger tea, great for those of you who get any upset stomachs. But right before you go to bed, how cool would that be if you just poured yourself a cup of turmeric tea? It's soothing. You might even, take your magnesium at that moment. So everything just calms down and prepares you for sleep. Okay, have you been watching my videos and you're like, I don't know how to put this stuff all together? You might need my fasting lifestyle free course. I'll teach you exactly how to do it. Just click on the link above, it'll take it to you, and it's absolutely free, my gift to you. And then really the third way, I already kind of alluded to it, is I like to juice this. I've even grated it and put it into salads because it just makes it a pretty salad, but it doesn't make it doesn't challenge, it won't have a big strong taste to it. It just adds some flavor, some visual flavor to it. So turmeric, it's not complicated. You probably have seen this ugly thing in your supermarket and wondered what to do with it. You can also get the spice and just, start spicing things with it. That also works. But what I want to encourage you in this conversation to do is just to bring it back on a fairly regular basis. And if you're struggling to sleep, let's try to bring this in along with some of the other tools I've taught you here, like magnesium, light. We've talked a lot about light. In the menopause reset, I did a whole chapter on my favorite hacks for sleep. I should have put turmeric in there, but if I could add to the hacks I've already taught you in that book, it would be have some turmeric tea, or better yet, maybe you warm up some Golden Milk before you go to bed and see how that helps you sleep. So as always, I hope that helps. There's so much magic in food. I know we love to talk about fasting here on this channel, but remember, the goal is your metabolic switch. That's what I'm teaching you. And so I want to make sure that we're dialing in the sugar burner system and we're really using food for healing as much as I've taught you all to use fasting for healing. They're both important. So, as always, I hope that helps. So on the next video, it's called Do This Before You Sleep to Avoid Belly Fat. And there's habits you want to do the night before, and there's habits you want to do in the morning, and all of those make a big difference. Make sure your room is cool. If our mattress is cool, if the room is cool, it activates the parasympathetic nervous system. This is a little bit like cold plunges.